Alright, so I'm going to attempt to try to give a little bit of a tutorial about how I make my sort of IDM-y percussion stuff in my music. So here we've got this example that I've been working on for the past couple of hours. It sounds like this. Not much going on in this section specifically when put in comparison to this, because we've got all that cool glitchy stuff going on. It's cool, but this section here is not. I want to liven it up a bit. So I've got this empty MIDI track, and I'm going to put an instrument on it. Let's say, let's use Vital. Right, Vital's pretty good for this sort of stuff. I'm going to put in the noise oscillator, turn the level down. We're going to use two envelopes. We're going to have one on the noise level and one on the pitch envelope of a sine oscillator. Actually, maybe a triangle oscillator would be better. Yeah, let's use it. Let's use a triangle because it's got more harmonics. And currently this sounds like pretty shit. But the goal is to make it not sound like that, obviously. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to loop this section, turn the grid to 30-second notes, and make a bit of a flow for this. It doesn't have to be anything specific. For this example, I'm just going to use 16th notes because I'm stupid and boring. Yeah, alright. I'm going to move the pitch around randomly of these, so doesn't really matter where I go, just anywhere. I need to make some sort of contour, so I'm doing a bit of a pattern in the last section, so it's da-da-da-da-da-da-da, like that. See how this sounds? Alright, that's pretty ass. Still, it's a work in progress. It's still a work in progress. So, I'm going to go into here, click on that, show the automation by pressing A, move around the decay, like that. Put it in there. Go in the amplitude envelope, move around the decay, put it in there. Go into the pitch envelope, move around the decay, put it in there. So now we've got these three envelope decay values that we're going to modulate. Right? I'm a dumbass and I put the two of the same one. Let me try to fix that. Envelope 3 decay. Alright, envelope 2 decay. You can go there. Envelope 1 decay. You can go there. Perfect. Okay. Why didn't that work? Envelope 2 decay. Come on. Envelope 2 decay. What? Well, this is what I'm going to do. Envelope 1 decay. There we go. Show automation and Modulating. Oh, it's because it's not mapped to anything. That's the issue. Alright. I guess I'll map you to the frequency of this filter that we're not using. Now that should work. Envelope 1 decay. Envelope 2 decay. Alright, finally. I don't know why that happened. Okay. Now we've got this. So, envelope 1 decay is the amplitude. I'm going to put this down for all of it and move it up slightly like that. Make it a bit bigger. Zoom in. Alright, so we're just making a bunch of semi-random shapes in this automation to make the peaks stand out, and the rest of it is, you're still going to hear it, but it's not as, it's a bit more subdued. You still hear the transient, but nothing else. I think I want this be a little lower. whoops, we're on pause now. What did we have? This. So I'm going to save this track and duplicate it, and then freeze it. Well, you don't need to do this, I'm doing it anyway. Freezing it and flattening it, this just renders it to audio. Don't need both of these. Make a new MIDI track. Simpler. Drag it in there. Slice mode. So now our notes on our keyboard. So, and I've got all these different sort of percussive bits that I can reuse. So I'm going to go in here and make it a bit more complicated. Let's use 30-second notes this time. Now this is a lot clickier because I'm only using the sounds that are very clicky. I don't really like the larger ones like that. Doesn't really work. Let's see if how this sounds. All right. Okay. Now this is where it gets kind of interesting. I'm going to duplicate this 3 times, unloop it, and then put on an echo, which is just a tape delay, basically. Nothing special. Does that. I'm turn down the reverb, turn off sync, and when I move it around, you will notice it sounds cool. So I'm going to show automation a new lane, turn off the grid, just do that, you know, just move my mouse around, doesn't matter. Want a lot of variations, I'm going to put a few of these in there so that you get those large sweeps. Let's see what this sounds like. That's pretty sick. I'm going to freeze this, flatten it. And now we've got this. So I'm going to consolidate it, normalize it, turn off warp, make a new MIDI track. Once again, simpler. Drag it in. Slice mode. Where we're going with this, we are once again. Actually, you know what? Let's use this MIDI here. Just for the sake of time. What's this? Whatever. This is just an example. You can spend more time doing it how you want. But see what Simpler has done? It's put all of these slices where it thinks that the transients are. Like that. But you're getting a lot of other stuff in between, which is not what you want for this sort of thing. And I think this is actually specific to Ableton, what I'm about to do. Maybe you can do it in FL or Reaper or whatever, but I'm doing it in Ableton. I'm going to take envelope MIDI, which is a modulator device that triggers an envelope when it receives a MIDI signal, and I'll map it to something. How about maybe the output of a let's do this. So this so that's sounding, the transients are more accented because of vocoder. What it's doing, because these sounds are so small, it's not really detecting them and it's turning them down. You can automate the formant on this, maybe. Automate the formant a bit. There we go. So this is still boring when it sounds better. So I'm going to take the filter, turn the filter down, add an envelope. That's already sounding so much better. You can automate, obviously, lots and lots of automation. Automate the decay time on the filter envelope. Or whatever. That sounds pretty. This is adding width, but still sort of, you know, making sense. You can play around with those values. Maybe actually I will do that. Let's use LFOY. But you can see here that this is just a very iterative process. You're putting effects over and over and over again on something that, you know, may not need effects, but you're doing it anyway. There you go. We change the rate so you get some variation. So now we're modulating the decay time. We got some pitch variation in there, and this is pretty much good. You can use this. It's a bit clicky. Maybe I'll put a transient shaper on it, like that. That's a bit better. But because of those delays, you're getting variations. Oh, that's way too much. I will duplicate it and see how it sounds.